I'm going to go Shedeur Sanders. I'm going to be steadfast in that. I've had him
Really?
number one, QB1 all along, really since last year, and love everything about the kid. I mean, people say, well, he takes too many sacks. Yes, he has to get the ball out a tick faster, but he dealt with NFL conditions. Shannon, Stephen A., we talk about that. Who had to deal with what you're going to deal with in the NFL, what you're going to have to survive in the NFL? He survived hit after hit. How he did it, I don't know. He was 11 of 13 games this year at 70% or higher. He never completed less than 60% of his passes in a game. And in 2023, when he was getting pounded and getting sacked and getting hit time after time, he was at 69% and change with 27 touchdowns, 3 picks, 4 rushing touchdowns. That's 31-3 touchdown interception ratio. So to me, when you look at Shedeur, accuracy, slip and slide in the pocket. Yes, he can get you a 3rd and 8 first down. People say, well, he's going to run the 4.8s. Patrick Mahomes ran 4.8, 4.84. Doesn't have an explosive arm. Neither did Johnny Unitas, Peyton Manning. Okay, we talk about explosive arms. You know, you don't need to have that.
Talk about having passion for NFL draft prospects. That is the definition of Mel Kiper's media career. This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about Mel Kiper Jr. defending Shedeur Sanders' ability to play at the NFL level. Shedeur Sanders is considered to be a first-round draft prospect by many draft experts. According to Mel Kiper, Shedeur Sanders should get drafted with the number 3 overall pick to the New York Giants. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So, here it is. Will Shedeur Sanders be a better quarterback than Cam Ward in the NFL? I'm going to say yes to this question. Not because I believe Shedeur Sanders will end up being a superstar at the next level, but because I believe Cam Ward will end up being a draft bust. Cam Ward is getting entirely too much hype heading into this year's NFL draft. If this were most drafts, Cam Ward would not even be mentioned as an early first-round pick. When you watch Cam Ward play, he is definitely not a pro-ready quarterback. There are things to like about Cam Ward's game, but his game is far from polished. If Cam Ward gets taken with the number 1 overall pick, the Tennessee Titans might as well just go ahead and fire Brian Callahan right away. You watch the tape of Cam Ward at Miami, he's holding on to the football for 9 or 10 seconds. That is not going to work at the NFL level. Cam Ward had a great O-line in Miami. He had all day to throw the football. Whoever takes him number 1 overall is going to end up regretting that decision. Cam Ward might be a great quarterback one day, but chances are he will probably end up being a draft bust. There's a reason why Cam Ward was looked at as a day 3 pick if he had entered out of the draft 1 year earlier. Do you really think Cam Ward improved that much in 2024 compared to his previous years in college? I see him being a Jordan Love type of player. At best, maybe he can develop into a better version of Vince Young, but that's not really saying a whole lot. Vince Young wasn't that good of a quarterback at the NFL level. As for Shedeur Sanders, there has been a lot of criticism about his behavior and his lack of leadership, which is valid. I believe Shedeur Sanders throws his teammates under the bus too much. You guys remember the time where he threw his teammates under the bus against Nebraska? I remember he sucked against Nebraska, and then he ends up throwing his O-lineman under the bus. That was extremely disrespectful for what Shedeur Sanders did. He also got into a fight with a referee against Kansas. Again, not a good look for Shedeur Sanders, but I believe Shedeur Sanders is more equipped for NFL success, particularly on a bad franchise, because he has actually had experience playing on a bad O-line. Colorado's offensive line was considered one of the worst units in college football last year. They gave Shedeur Sanders basically less than 2.5 seconds to throw the football. It's not exactly like Shedeur Sanders had time to go through all his reads because Colorado's offensive line did not do a good job protecting him. We know that it's an O-line issue because they couldn't run the ball for the most part either. Shedeur Sanders was running for his life and taking hits all the time, and he still managed to look pretty good while playing for Colorado. I also want to show you guys this clip of Mel Kiper Jr. telling the New York Giants to take Shedeur Sanders with the number 3 overall pick. I found his reasons for that matter to be rather interesting. He raved about Shedeur Sanders' ability to succeed at the NFL level. Roll the film.
The pressure, the expectations, the big stage, the bright lights. He's dealt with all that. That's Shedeur Sanders. That's who he is. That's what he's all about. At Jaxson State, he was phenomenal. At Colorado, he was outstanding. People say he got too many sacks. Guess what? Over those 2 years, he completed 72% of his passes, 74% this past year. He never had a game less than 60% completion percentage, yet he was harassed. He was under duress all the time. Didn't throw many interceptions at Jackson State or at Colorado. So when you look at what he did there, despite having a poor, horrible offensive line 2 years ago, and not a great one this past year, he still lit it up, and he managed a game, and he won this past year at Colorado.
Thank you!
Although there was too much fanboy talk for my liking, most of what Mel Kiper Jr. said about Shedeur Sanders is true. Shedeur Sanders isn't a fast quarterback, but that's okay. Patrick Mahomes isn't a fast quarterback either in terms of speed, but Shedeur Sanders has ability to escape defenders at a consistent basis. He also was extremely accurate with the football in his hands. Like Mel Kiper Jr. said, Shedeur Sanders completed over 70% of his passes in 11 out of 13 games. I don't care who you are, anyone that does that at the college level behind one of the worst offensive lines in college football is a pretty good quarterback. If Shedeur Sanders' name was Sean Smith, a lot of people would be saying, man, who's this accurate quarterback that's been throwing dimes behind this makeshift offensive line? That's exactly what people would be saying about Shedeur Sanders if his name wasn't Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders gets a lot of criticism because of his last name. His dad, Deion Sanders, is a Hall of Fame cornerback. He's also been one of the most boisterous head coaches in college football. He likes to talk a lot. He likes to trash talk, and a lot of people love hating Deion Sanders because of his personality, which therefore they take it out on his son in Shedeur Sanders. But when you watch the tape of Shedeur Sanders versus the tape of Cam Ward, it's night and day in terms of who's going to be better at the NFL level. Am I saying Shedeur Sanders is going to be a top 5 quarterback? Of course not. But I know Shedeur Sanders has the higher floor. He might have the lower ceiling compared to Cam Ward, but he has more ability to make pro level reads compared to Cam Ward. Cam Ward was not playing a pro-style offense in Miami. The coaches over there in Miami were not giving Cam Ward full responsibilities at the line of scrimmage. They had to dumb down the system a lot for Cam Ward. He's not intellectually smart enough to last at the NFL level. Shedeur Sanders, on the other hand, was given a lot of responsibility at the line of scrimmage. His dad, Deion Sanders, even said that Shedeur Sanders has the ability to check out of any given play, which in other words means he has the right to audible out of a play if he doesn't really like it. That tells me Shedeur Sanders is great at pre-snap reads, something Cam Ward is absolutely not good at. Cam Ward is more of an athlete trying to play quarterback. Meanwhile, for Shedeur Sanders, he is a quarterback that relies on his legs when he needs to use them. If Shedeur Sanders can just humble down a little bit more and focus on getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker, he's going to be a very good tier 2 quarterback at the NFL level. When I watch Shedeur Sanders play, I see a lot of Baker Mayfield in his game in the sense that he's going to love taking shots downfield, but he's also not afraid to be accurate with the football in his hands. He's also got confidence as well. Shedeur Sanders is more equipped to play for a bad franchise compared to Cam Ward. You put Shedeur Sanders on any team not named the Cleveland Browns, he's going to turn that franchise around. If you're the New York Giants, you got to take Shedeur Sanders with the number 3 overall pick. He's a better option than going with somebody like Jaxson Dart at that spot, or signing a veteran quarterback like Joe Flacco, Russell Wilson, or Aaron Rodgers. He's better than the idea of trading for Kirk Cousins. If you're the New York Giants at pick 3 and you have the opportunity to select Shedeur Sanders, you better do it, because Shedeur Sanders is meant to be a New York Giant. He was a born star from day one in New York City. It's all about being stars. Shedeur Sanders is the perfect fit for the New York Giants. So that is why Shedeur Sanders will end up being a better quarterback than Cam Ward at the NFL level, as Shedeur Sanders is my quarterback 1 of the 2025 NFL draft class. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I'm gonna shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @DustinAsTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinAsTran, and that's Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinAsTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.